This is Kevin Min with Outside the Games. Welcome to our show. We are an organization that covers student athletes on and off the field, and we're in Washington, Oregon, California, and nationwide. Here we are at a facility here held by JB Barnes and Pro Baller 7-on-7. Yes, it's a 7-on-7 team that just started this year. We have a player from that. This is going to be Treyce Teague. Treyce, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to have you. Well, Treyce is a class of 20, defensive back and a slot receiver for Hudson's Bay High School. You know, he's quite a student and an athlete at that. And that's what we do talk about, hashtag student athletes strong. Student athletes are important not only to the school, but also their community. But Treyce, we talk a little bit about family life in football. And when we talk about family, that's where we start off with. Mm-hmm. That's the beginning part of it. That's the foundation. That's the pillar. The pillars that we talk about that make you, right? So as family, how would you define family, Treyce?
Family to me is just those who love, care for you, want the best for you, want better than what they had for you, and just looking into your best interest at all times. So, you know, whether it's like the good or bad times, but just mainly just wanting the best for you. Yeah,
and when you look about family, family has dynamics when it comes to like, you know, parents and what they provide. And so currently just mom and dad, or just mom?
Yeah.
And so what mom has a lot on her plate with trying to raise men. And so tell me what your mom means to you from a standpoint of part of that family and what she's been able to do for you to make Treyce Teague who he is.
I mean, my mom's been everything to me. It's like, she's like my rock. She like, you know, from anything as into like, you know, simple school events, just like reminding me to like, you know, getting a good night's rest before a game, or just like, even like, just like my simple well-being, just like every day. She's just like always been there for me, always pushing me to be the best, giving me advice from, you know, her life, and just always wanting me to succeed. And she's just everything. Can
you think of a time, you know, and we'll dig a little bit deep here, with regards to your mom and you and that relationship, has there been a time when you knew you were kind of struggling with something and she was there to help you out? Can you give an example of that?
I think it was like during the school year, I had to get a grade up before the semester ended, and I was just kept procrastinating because it's like workouts and, you know, football. Right. And I just like kept procrastinating it, and just everybody. I knew in the back of my mind I should probably do it, but my mom just like kept pushing me to do it, and then, you know, I finally did it and I got a good grade on it. But like, I mean, I can just see the times where if I didn't have anybody like pushing me or in my ear about it, I probably would have like, you know, pushed it off, or just maybe done it like last minute,
maybe not complete the assignment, exactly. take a bad grade on it, right?
Versus, you know, just getting it out the way and getting it done, you know, sacrificing my time.
And we talk a lot of times about mentorship on the program. Mentors are huge. They develop the student athlete from a standpoint of challenges that they face, adversity that the student athlete faces. Tell me, Treyce, who are your mentors and why?
I've had like, you know, my dad and mom in my life, but, you know, some pretty big mentors entered my life recently. Been like Deshaun and JB mainly. I like the vibe with them. They just like keep it 100 with me all the time, and just tell me what I need to do better, what I should work on, and just like what I need to get out of, you know, my time being wherever I am during that time. And it's just like I kind of take like them more seriously because they're, you know, for one, like a black man in this world is like they're successful, or they've been to like the college levels. And at the highest, you know, close to the highest point where I'm trying to be is college. And I just like take advice from them because, you know, they're just respectable and they know what they're talking about.
Right. And something about this organization too, it keeps it 100 when it comes to the school and the person sports, on the field as well, right?
Definitely, yeah. Where it's attitude, you know, your ego, you know, skill, or even just like how you carry yourself.
Could you say that their example has shown you how to be a better man?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Right. Do you think mentors are important for student athletes? Do you think they play a huge role when it comes to development?
Yeah, I feel like almost every successful athlete has somebody to look up to, or they like, you know, come with them on the journey and help them out through it. Definitely.
Yeah, that's huge. We talk a little bit about student athlete challenges. At Hudson's Bay, you've been there all 3 years, going to be going into the senior year. Mm-hmm. But as far as what you remember, student athletes challenges, let's talk about your freshman year. Come on now. Freshman year, you're in a new school, it's new, hallways, classes, where do I go, orientation, all that. And take that experience and then take the experience you've just experienced with Hudson's Bay and just collaborate with both of them in a sense of kind of a contrast there.
Yeah, I mean,
compare.
I had 2 brothers who went there, 2 years apart, so like they've kind of just been like in each generation, I guess you could say. So like I kind of like knew people, like people knew me, my family. But I mean, I always had like that wonder of where things were and just like the personal first-hand experience and just, getting to know the like every day. But it was kind of like cool because like at first I kind of just could cruise by, and also challenging. I could like kind of just cruise by, do my own thing, hang out with my friends, and then just like as each year's gone on, things like I started taking harder classes, getting more involved. Like I'm in ASB, NHS. I'm just getting more involved in the school, and I just had like more things on my plate, I guess you could say, while like trying to maintain good grades and do as best as I could be to be an athlete in my off time.
Right.
So that's been kind of a journey.
Tell me, a lot of times I hear this from student athletes, all over. What's the hardest thing about being a student athlete? What comes into play as far as a student athlete challenge to you?
Me, I like to be like kind of like the best of the best. So like keeping my grades to like match, my reputation on the field, or like, my talk on the field. Not my talk literally, but like as my performance.
Confidence.
I like to like make sure I'm known, or like people know like what I'm about. So like keeping high grades, that's always been a big thing for me. And just like making sure I'm where I'm supposed to be at the right times, which is like in the right crowd and stuff.
I mean, doesn't time management seem to be a big issue?
Definitely.
When it comes to trying to balance your workload.
Yeah, literally. Like getting workouts in versus, spending your off time to review notes before a test, or just studying every day or reading. That's been a huge challenge.
How does a student athlete challenge a little bit of media as well?
Yeah.
How does a student athlete handle media when it comes to, social media platforms? There's like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. There's just a plethora of platforms for a student athlete to be on. So how do you handle media and platforms of social media?
I mean, certain stuff I just like, whether it's like criticism or just like cloud, I guess you could say, I don't like to like take it to heart, because it's just like, for one, it's social media. And it's just like anybody can say anything on social media without like, any evidence or anything in general. They can just say whatever they want to say.
Right.
So that's been a big part, and I kind of just like let things go in one ear, come out the other. Sometimes I just like good stuff's on social media, whether it's like, other people's stuff. You can use that as motivation, or just, look at things. But it's just been like, I don't know, it's like an easy way to get off track, I guess you could say, and distracted by it. But it's also stuff where like, cool stuff comes.
A lot of times people feel, and even coaches have kind of touched on it a little bit with regards to how you manage your social media. We'll take Twitter, for example. You look at a person, that's their kind of in a way that your business, in a way, really. It's who you are, you're describing yourself. Do you have to kind of be careful for coaches and for other people that, of who's on the timeline, what you're tweeting about, right?
Definitely. I always try to like keep stuff on my Twitter as like how I want to be, or like what I want to invest my time into. So whether it's like good stuff, like, other college recruits or college prospects, versus, bad stuff that's going to take you off on the wrong track. I just like to keep it like, football, school, funny videos, whether it's just like world star stuff, just certain stuff. Making sure I'm following the right people, definitely.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Like, just people I look up to,
definitely.
mainly.
Well, let's get into more of the student aspect of things for you, Treyce. Remember, this is a student athlete, so student comes first, obviously athlete the second part of it, but you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
As a student, though, tell me this year, where does Treyce sit in the classroom? Let's take class.
Depending if it's math or English. Math, it's like my harder subject. I mean, pre-calculus has definitely been like my biggest barrier all of high school. It's just like the hardest math class I've taken, and that one I like to be up in the front. And any other class, I'm pretty on top of and it just comes natural. So I can just sit anywhere, but I like to be focused and then up front.
I'm going to get serious on a couple questions for you. When it comes to the student athlete, what characteristics do you think you have to have for the teacher to be successful in that class?
Responsibility and accountability, I believe. It's just like, if a teacher tells you to get something done, or to read something, and the next day comes around and you didn't read it, and there's something going on in class, you're supposed to read it, and you didn't read it, it's just ultimately I feel like that's on you. Teacher tells you to do something, you have to do it, whether it's you like it or not.
There's really nobody else to point the finger on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It comes to you.
Yeah, same with tests. Tests is everything you've been doing for a whole unit, whether if you did the homework or not, it'll show.
So. We'll get to there in a minute about tests, but what do you think, what qualities does a teacher now have to have for you to be a successful student in class?
I'd say like maybe a little bit of empathy, or not empathy, sympathy maybe.
I mean, do you want to basically let them know, hey, I'm a student athlete, and understand that I got a workload,
definitely.
but I take this class seriously, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of teachers know that I am a student athlete, and they have like that little bit of compassion because they see me like work. I'll come in the morning to do extra work and stuff, so they'll see I'm actually trying. So that's been like a big help in my high school. Just like showing that I care is usually it's usually like if you give, I'll give. You know, one of those relationships. So it kind of goes hand in hand. I feel like.
Yeah.
But
is Treyce a good test taker?
I mean, I am at times, definitely. I mean, I have my moments, but if I stick to where I'm supposed to be, like if I do my notes before, if I do my review, I'm usually a good test taker. Yeah.
Current GPA right now?
3.7. Last time I checked. Yeah.
Nice. Working for that 4.0?
Yeah, I'm trying. Definitely.
You're trying. Yeah. That's good. That's good. When you look at it from a student athlete perspective, say for example you notice somebody in school that maybe something wasn't working, and you noticed that they needed some help in some way. How would you help a person like that? Because you could take it your freshman year coming into the class, to a classroom, a new school. There were probably questions you had when it came to orientation, where to go, where to do.
Yeah.
So maybe some people showed you around the ropes a little bit. What would you do to be able to help a student athlete? Maybe you could see that was struggling.
Definitely give them a couple simple resources. Yeah. They're like, places to go, where to study, people to ask, where to go get help, how to get help, or just like main stuff like that. Just time management. Because usually, I feel like anything in life, if you just put energy or like a little bit of effort into it, you'll get good things back. Yeah. So,
with that, how do you balance football and school? How does that? Because a student athlete is not easy.
Yeah.
You have a lot of classes, some tough classes. How do you balance that?
I feel like it's just like not being lazy and just like how much do I want it and just being focused most of the day. Because I mean, it starts in the morning. I have like weight training, first period, and then it's like pre-cal second period, and it's just like I have to go from working out to being focused in the classroom. So like I feel like just like discipline and like keeping myself focused throughout the whole day, making sure whether it's like bringing water so I stay hydrated or a snack so I don't get hungry and unfocused, just little stuff like that.
Just like a student, or just like an athlete actually, when they hit that wall, right? That wall where you hit and you're just dog tired, you can't go no more, but you reach deep for something, right? And you find it. You get that second win, that last. How do you do that as a student? Because sometimes there's that block, there's that wall you hit as a student, and you find yourself either daydreaming or how do you collect yourself to get back into the mode of focus?
Well,
I know you're speaking from experience.
I kind of just like, if I have a lot on my plate, I look at what I can get done the easiest, the quickest, most efficient way, and then kind of just knock it down, piece by piece, and just seeing what I can work with. So that's usually how I just look at it.
With Hudson, we're gonna talk a little bit about, what's your favorite class you like?
My favorite class, probably English or history. Yeah.
Okay.
History.
You like that?
History. Yeah.
You like history?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it about history you like?
I mean, I just like the undiscovered parts of the America I don't know about, because I'm in a U.S. history right now, AP Gov. So it's just like I'm learning a lot about like our government, how it was like made, brought up.
I mean, there's some things around Vancouver.
Yeah, definitely.
Vancouver, watching the Fort Vancouver and McLaughlin House, Pittock Mansion. There's a lot of different kind of historical areas that you kind of learn a little bit about. In Oregon and Vancouver, in Washington State. What's your least favorite class? Not to throw any teachers in the bus, but just your least favorite class.
Pre-cal, easy. Yeah.
Really?
Math. I just hate math. It's just like hard.
Yeah. What do you find that helps you kind of refocus with math? What helps you to kind of navigate through that? Because it's hard.
Yeah. I'd say like, honestly, I don't know how this kind of sounds dumb, but like a fresh page of notes where I'm just like, just doing everything like math related, so I can just get it like my brain wired towards that, I guess, and just like start focusing little by little. And just like, just going over it, getting my mind in that mode where it's like I'm about to deal with numbers, I guess you could say. Yeah. Or just like formulas or whatever it is.
You play defensive back. We're going to talk football now. You play defensive back and slot receiver. What is your favorite position that you really prefer?
I mean, I love slot. I love getting the ball, but like I feel like I get more into the game when I'm on the defensive end. Like when I want to hit somebody, I just feel it, or I get into a different mode.
So you're a physical player.
Yeah.
but you like to have the ball in your hands
Yeah,
as well.
I like making plays.
So maybe it's
an
an interception.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Right. Hudson's Bay, school in Vancouver. What is Hudson's Bay? How has it helped you as not only a student? Let's take the student part first. How has it helped you as a student?
As a student, I feel like it's helped me more of like a leader standpoint. I mean, a lot of people look up to me, like, because I'm good in the class or just like a good role model in general, like a good person. And I just like always focused or just worried about my school. So it's just like people just look at me and they're just kind of surprised or like.
And what about football?
Football, like a leader, like I said. Like being in an area where, I mean, we have talent, but like usually when the talent comes, like the IQ is off or like they have, you know, attitude problems and just something, you know, there's something always funny. So it's kind of just like being a complete player, just like leading a leader is kind of what that has done for me. Like just made me realize how to lead and just like the impact I have on other people around me.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah. So just.
How have you felt about Hudson's Bay when it comes to like coaching and everything? You know, there's been development. Obviously, you could tell, but from your freshman year, just like a student side of things with the books and classes, your development there. How has development helped you with regards to Hudson's Bay and their coaches and develop you in your positions?
I mean, we hired a new coach. I think my sophomore year, we got a new defensive coach, and he was an All-American in college. I mean, he played at Linfield, and it's a pretty good program for football. And he like kind of opened my eyes on the defensive perspective. I mean, let me know a lot more about defense and just how it works and different defenses. So I guess that was a cool part, like because we had our offensive coordinator was like our head coach.
Oh, so yeah, we're talking about Hudson's Bay and really the coaching and how it's been different, and there's been some changes with some of the coaching staff. So obviously, that's been kind of a change. Whenever there's a coaching staff change, there's a little bit of uneasiness for a student athlete, a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely had to get used to like a whole other defense and the whole like rebuilding process, I guess I could say, between like, you know, the two classes, because those are like the two main classes that graduated and two entered. But yeah, just like getting to know a new defense and the way the practices were ran, I guess you could say, and the new culture that was coming to Bay. I mean, some stuff was kept the same, but a lot of stuff was changed that I feel like impacted our play or season. So like I guess that was interesting.
Is there something about when you're lining up against a receiver as a defensive back, what motivates you to make a play on the ball or to stop that certain player that maybe somebody's really talked a lot about, that offensive player?
I mean, showing them how I match up against, you know, the big time people. I just want to show what I can do and just like, you know, letting myself know I can do it. Like I got a dog in me and I always like to just satisfy myself. So I feel like, you know, I'll look him in the eye and I just, you know, want to be better. I want to stop him, doing it for my team and just for myself.
Well, you were speaking about earlier about, you know, talking about pro baller 7-on-7 here at this facility with JB Barnes head coach and Deshaun Flinteroy. Obviously, those coaches have meant something to you and the other coaches, assistant coaches as well. Tell me what pro baller 7-on-7 for your development, Treyce, has meant to you.
I feel like it's played a huge role this offseason. I mean, being at a fast pace the whole time, that really helps me out. I feel like helps my motor because I play both ways, both sides of the ball. So, you know, just being up and active, you know, playing with high energy all the time with, you know, a pretty good high group of boys. You know, the skill level is very high and competitive. So like I like that. Always like being pushed and always like competing against, you know, other players. That's just been the biggest thing I feel like.
Yeah. Have you felt that there's been something that the 7-on-7 organization has taught you about yourself? Has there been something that you could probably pinpoint that it's taught you about Treyce Teague on how to improve at something?
Yeah, actually. I feel like just like training to be at a high level, like as much as I can.
Yeah, because I mean, let's be honest. You're competing with different organizations that are at a high level.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
So you got to give it your best.
Yeah.
So has that been something that you were
like
saying?
every day of the week I started training ever since 7-on-7, and I try to get in, you know, two trainings a day. That's just been the biggest thing. It's just like knowing at the end of the week I have a tournament, you know, I have to play against other people, other teams that are, you know, training and getting better every day, trying to be the best. So it's just like it's us versus them, I guess. So that's kind of been like my little, you know, motto.
What has been the most exciting thing that you could do for right now under Pro Baller 7-on-7? What's been the most exciting maybe play you made or whatever you've done?
I think this last weekend we were in we made it to the semi-pro. We had a semi-pro game, or semi-final game, excuse me. And it was the very last play of the game, and we were back and forth the whole game. And it was just a very intense game. And we had played the team early in the day, and they beat us. And this was our rematch with them. And we were just going back and forth, and it was the last play. And it was the last play. A ball was thrown, and I deflected it. I made a play on the ball, and it wasn't my man. And I broke it up, and we won the game because of that. And that just made me feel good that I showed out for that. And we won the game, and we ended up winning the championship. So and to get our first trophy.
That's your first trophy.
Yeah, that was good.
Something about that though, it taught you a lot about yourself, right? To have the confidence. To make a play. Now, you've made that play the next game or the next play or whatever. You've now set the You've set the tone now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, one thing about it, Treyce, is that with 7-on-7, where does it? You're good at class of 20. You have another year to go. Mm-hmm. Is this an organization that you are looking forward to staying with?
Definitely, yeah. I want to come back and play and just be around these coaches. I like the vibe here. I like what they preach and just what's being done here. I think this organization can turn into a big time 7-on-7.
Oh, great. Well, we got to know Treyce Teague a little bit. Class of 20, defensive back and a slot receiver for Hudson's Bay. Obviously, there's been from a student athlete challenges, mentorship, family. Obviously, there's been a lot of things here for Treyce to learn about. And he's continuing to learn. So it's always something there for you to keep on achieving, aspiring to, and getting better, right? Mm-hmm. Well, we're not done. We have this thing called the Quick Blitz. We're going to get to know Treyce Teague a little bit more, okay? So first question is, favorite food?
Favorite food, chicken wings.
Chicken wings?
Yeah, I love chicken wings.
What's on them?
Hot sauce, the fried, breaded, whatever. Just mainly that. Just
you have a favorite
sauce?
Yeah.
Spice. Hot buffalo. Hot buffalo.
Hot buffalo. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any sauces to dip in them?
Ranch usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Favorite dessert?
I'd have to say maybe a pizookie or something like that.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I've heard about that. Skyview, I think, is football has talked
football
about
team,
that.
Yeah.
It's something. Where do you get it?
BJ's usually has them,
okay.
or any I guess dine-in, good dessert place would probably have them, I guess.
That's your thing.
But I started off getting at BJ's, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Favorite musical artist?
NBA YoungBoy.
Okay. All right. Favorite song?
Right now, I'd say it'd have to be For the Keeps.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Apple or Android, and why?
Apple.
Have you had an Android phone?
Yeah, I had an Android once, but it was just it wasn't in service. It was just kind of a phone to listen to music and play games on.
You were using that Wi-Fi.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly.
But something about iPhone, obviously.
Yeah, Apple did. Yeah. Better graphics, just more legit to me.
Okay. Favorite shoe to wear?
Favorite shoe? I like Air Maxes.
Do you?
Yeah, Air Maxes.
Old school Air Maxes?
Yeah.
You like the old ones, right?
Throwback, yeah.
Nice. Favorite cleat to wear?
Ooh, recently I like the Nike Vapors, but this 7-on-7 season I started wearing the Adidas, the new style Adidas they have.
Three-stripe, I see.
Yeah, just it has a lighter material, and I just feel light on my feet. So this senior season I'm gonna have to go with Adidas.
Yeah, got you. All right. If you had to drive a new car, what kind of car would Treyce Teague have? Any car, or SUV?
I might have to take a Mercedes, a new Mercedes, a Ford Maytag.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Just
all right.
A luxury car.
Man, nice. Favorite last movie you saw?
The last movie I saw was last week. Captain Marvel.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah, it was good.
It was good?
I liked it.
Nice. If you had a favorite vacation destination spot, where would that favorite destination spot and vacation be?
If I could go anywhere, I'd probably go to Greece or Spain. I always wanted to see the views, see the foreign,
A lot of history there too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. For you, if you had to change one thing in the world today, one thing that you could impact, what would it be?
Probably the unnecessary wars that go on. I feel America has its own battles with different countries that I feel we're pointless, or just we fight over a lot of unnecessary stuff, and if there wasn't a lot of fighting, there wouldn't be a lot of the stuff that goes on in the world. So that, violence.
Right. Well, last question for you, and I say this because you're going to be a senior. so you're smarter.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of things. So what I have for you is choose which one you'd like to prefer. Would you prefer? Say you just got some Nike Air Maxes, old school Air Maxes, and they came with a blemish, or would you rather be on Outside the Game show? What would you prefer?
Outside the games.
That's right. That's right. Treyce Teague, he knows what's up. Treyce Teague is a class of 20 defensive back and slot receiver for Hudson's Bay. Be on the lookout for him, of course, not only for Pro Baller 7-on-7 here, and they're going to be having a tournament coming up here pretty soon in Tukwila, Washington State. But be on the lookout for him at Hudson's Bay, and look to see what he's going to be doing. He's going to be on a tear. Definitely he's got some confidence and really learning a lot, not only as a student, but also as an athlete as well. So can't have one without the other as a person and a player, but as a student, athlete, So we thank you for being on our show, Treyce. Thank you again. And this has been Kevin Mint with Outside the Games. Treyce Teague, have a good night.